Hey, what's up, everyone? Joe Previtt here. Welcome to another episode of our pronunciation critique series, where I take a video or an audio recording of a non-native English-speaking programmer and I critique them. Just a natural critique. This isn't anything crazy. I'm not going to be mentioning IPA or any linguistic terms. So this will be approachable for you, and it should help you see an example of things that you might be able to do to improve your own pronunciation and reduce your accent. So today we're going to be critiquing my friend Haz, who is a programmer from Brazil. He's somebody I admire and look up to. He's pretty big in the open source community. And he sent me this video from his talk at ReactConf in 2021 about building accessible components with React 18. So what we're going to do is hit play. We're going to watch the first minute. I'm not going to say anything. And then we're going to rewatch it, and I'm going to pause and point out things that stick out to me as a native English speaker. So let's do it.
Hello, I am Diego Haz. I am a JavaScript engineer at Automatic. For the past years, I've been working mostly with accessibility using React components, and I'm one of the maintainers of some open source libraries like AryaKit and WordPress components. In this talk, I'm going to show you how to create an accessible component, more specifically a combo box, using the new React 18 features to render the items asynchronously. So here we have a very simple combo box implementation using just native HTML elements. We have a list of items that is rendered inside a combo box list that will be visible when the input has focus. But there are some problems with this implementation. If I'm using a mouse, I can hover over the items. I can even click on them. And it looks like it works, but if I'm using the keyboard, there's no way I can access the items. On a combo box, you should be able...
Sorry, I was getting into the talk there and we passed a minute. Cool. Okay, so we're going to go back, and now we're going to kind of point out some things, and I'll pause and just kind of give some commentary, what stuck out to me, specifically on pronunciation. Overall, though, I want to say very clear enunciation, very clear pronunciation, very easy to follow this. He's not speaking too fast. Again, enunciation, I mean, he's pronouncing the words very clearly. So it's very easy to identify the words that he's saying. And I don't know if the React team added subtitles or if these are auto-generated. Let me see. This is really hard to tell. It sounds like it's not auto-generated because I think it would be. But anyways, yeah. So, okay, let's get into it.
Hello, I am Diego Haz.
So the H sound kind of sticks out to me. It's more like it sounds like he's saying like a when it should be more like a hello instead of hello. You kind of hear the difference there?
I'm a JavaScript engineer at Automatic. For the past years, I've been working mostly with...
And something about the intonation. So I used to study Brazilian Portuguese, and I can't explain it super well, but it kind of like, I don't know, it sounds like sing-songy a little bit to me as a native English speaker, and you can kind of hear that come out. Versus like, if I were to say the exact same thing as him.
Hello, I am Diego Haz.
And I don't know why it says the. Hello, I am Diego Haz. Hello, I am Diego Haz. You know, so you kind of hear my voice go up.
I am a JavaScript engineer at Automatic.
I'm a JavaScript engineer, so we might contract I and am. I'm a JavaScript engineer at Automatic. You just kind of tend to do that naturally when you're speaking.
For the past years, I've been working mostly with...
For the past, and here you might say past couple of years.
I am Diego Haz. I am a JavaScript engineer at Automatic. For the past years, I've been working mostly with accessibility using...
For the past couple of years, I've been mostly working with accessibility using React components. So if you compare his intonation, right, the kind of like flow of his voice up and down to mine, right, there's a little bit of difference. Like that's where I hear the Portuguese coming in.
Using React components.
Components in that po, it kind of sounds like a Portuguese o, components, right? Rather than like components. I think it might be a schwa.
And I'm one of the maintainers of some open source libraries like
Maintainers.
AryaKit and WordPress components. In this talk, I'm going to show you how to create
Sure. So the SH there too, and the how, which we've already talked about the H.
an accessible component, more specifically a combo box.
More specifically. So specifically, there's something there too. I'm hearing.
Using the new React 18 feature.
And so the TH. It sounded like he said like duh, like with a D, rather than like a the, which is a hard sound to do.
Features to render the items asynchronously. So here we have a very simple combo box implementation.
So that sounded pretty natural. So here we have a very simple combo box implementation. So I think that's something he could pay attention to is like, and this is really hard. I mean, I struggle with this in Spanish and I speak it fluently, but knowing like when to pause, right? So here we have a very simple combo box implementation. So here we have a very simple, right? Depending on what word you stress conveys different meaning. So if I stress here, so here, right, I want you to focus on like here. We have a very, very simple, right? If I want to emphasize that it's simple, very simple combo box. If I want to emphasize a combo box, right? There's different meaning, and that's kind of like, it's kind of like a higher level. It's like a native thing. If you want to get to a really advanced level.
Using just native HTML elements.
HTML, il. It kind of sounds like il, like a Portuguese sound there with the L. L, il, ela. You know, like her. That's what it sounds like.
We have a list of items that is
List, the t there.
Rendered inside a combo box list.
Kumbo, right? That u. Kind of get that Portuguese and like obrigado is kind of what I'm hearing.
That will be visible when the
something there.
The input has focus.
Input, pu. So I think it's the vowels. I think that's something that's kind of like an area he could improve if he wanted to.
But there are some problems with this implementation. If I'm using a mouse, I can
a mouse. Yeah, so again, it's very subtle. I mean, the important thing is being able to talk about technical things like this. He has a very natural flow, right? So like I'm pretty sure that him and I have talked, and he's already working remotely, and he's already at an English level where like he can work with teams. So this is a great example, right? Again, we're just kind of nitpicking. This is if you wanted to take it to the next level. But the whole purpose of doing these pronunciation critiques is so that you can see somebody else who's a non-native speaker who is successful, right? Like he gave a talk at ReactConf, right? Like one of the coolest conferences and biggest in the React ecosystem. And he is really well known, in the space. And so again, he is at a great level. He doesn't need to do these improvements. It's just more of like, hey, I wanted to point these things out in case it helps you, but also you as the viewer of the video. Maybe these are things that you make. And again, I think one of the biggest takeaways you can take from this video is being able to notice these things in other people, because then you'll start noticing them in yourself, right? Like what might give something away that person's a non-native, or where is there something in their pronunciation that maybe sounds a little off or different compared to a native speaker? So yeah, that's the end of the video. The newsletter that I run is called English Byte. So that's where I'll be sharing lots of helpful information to help you land a remote dev job by improving your English with things like this. So go ahead, subscribe. It goes out once a week, every Monday, and it's got 5 different tips. You can click and kind of see an example. Got words and phrases, pronunciation, so either tips or critiques like this. Real world conversation, so like specific topics that are going to help you get better and be more prepared for an interview or landing a job or moving up in a job. different content from native English speakers that will help you. And then finally, an exercise, something actionable that you can do that week, usually within like 15 minutes, to help improve your English. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe. It's all free. And my goal is to help 1 million people land remote dev jobs. And so I hope that you're one of them. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.